Yeah, we good?
Yeah, we're good. Hey guys, we're here. We're gonna do a cast of Big Chig All Stars versus the Lost Boys. Joining me, I'm your caster, Lynx, one of three casters today. Joining me is Drum Pounder
Hello.
and Lanky.
Hello.
Yeah, we
So
played.
Lost Boys win the role.
Oh yeah, there looks like they're already starting out.
Ready to go.
No faffing around.
Right, we've played one of these teams. We played Big Chig All Stars. We haven't played the Lost Boys yet. What are your guys' predictions going into this?
Uh, Not any idea really, because I haven't watched too much of their games. I don't really know how much they play. There's a couple of fill-ins, so I'm not too sure what position they're going to be filling in for.
Hmm. Yeah, we got
Are we any predictions on what sort of heroes we're going to see? Are they going to pick something like the Bloodseeker off Rip again? Because he's huge right now.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of the Bloodseeker, a lot of the Lifestealer, a lot of tanky
Yeah,
heroes, I feel like. At least the matches
yeah.
that we've been playing up against.
Might see a lot of the usual bans right now, the ones we're seeing in most games, but probably some specific ones will have to be careful what they let Octavine get from the Lost Boys on the mid lane. I seem to remember a devastating OD pick, and
10
yeah, we'll
seconds
see how
to pick.
specific these guys get on the bans.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
It looks like, yeah, they've got to fill in on Big Chig
Dive
All
back.
Stars as well. Joe
There's that Warlock
Biden,
ban again.
which I
Number one ban every
yeah,
time.
Mhm.
Only 10 seconds.
think we got A2K filling in on the Big Chig All Stars.
The
Yeah, I'm just trying
Abaddon
to
ban.
figure out who he's filling in for. It would probably have to be.
10 seconds to pick.
I'm not sure.
Ludicrous? Yeah, they don't got
Luda. It's
Luda.
Luda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that makes
So
sense. A2K, I know he's got a high MMR. Ludicrous also sports a nice high MMR. They're just kind
gonna
of
be a
swapping one for the other.
big shakeup in the mid lane here. Be a lane to watch. Witch
I
Doctor.
Seems
I remember laning against A2K once. I was Bane and he was Phoenix, and it didn't go well for me.
Seems like Big Chiga All Stars are banning all the supports off the go. So the Lich ban comes out on the Lost Boys. That's not surprising.
Yeah, it's common that the Big Chig All Stars are receiving this Abaddon and Death Prophet ban.
Yeah, absolutely no surprises on the draft here. This is just kind of what we've come to expect.
Getting the Lich ban is nice. Worse than like starting a team fight and then it's going well, and then all of a sudden this Chain Frost comes off, and only half your team just loses more than half of its health.
Yeah, and I think that ability to cast while using Sinister Gaze is something that I'm kind of starting to take note of when I'm watching people play.
Hmm.
Pretty good Lich is that you can make that work really, really well for you.
The Bristleback ban. Do you reckon that's a respect pick? It's not necessarily something I'd pick to ban.
I think it might be.
We did play against Bristleback when we played Big Jig All Stars. I remember because I was forced into a Viper because of that hero.
Yeah, I remember that very well now. Yeah,
And he's very good if I
they
remember
won that
rightly.
game, by the way.
Yep, they did. That was the OD. That was the OD that we fought into.
hmm Octavine OD, and I think that would be they might want to consider that ban, but we'll see. Probably won't be seeing the mid picks for a little while here.
They could ban a lot of the supports. I wonder what they're going to be picking. Obviously, Lion's still in the pool, looking for that dedicated stun. Um,
Yeah,
hmm.
what other supports are we seeing a lot of? Certainly Witch Doctor. We're seeing the Warlock ban a lot.
AA is a viable pick.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Ooh, the
of course.
CM. Yeah,
Maiden.
That's like bread and butter right there.
yeah.
have to consider that Juggernaut in your considerations for bans.
Oh yes.
Oh, the
Great
Nyx is
pick.
coming out.
Exciting pick.
I like to see a Nyx.
Yeah, what an answer back, Crystal, sees that and it's like, oh, I'm going to be hunted the whole game. Okay.
The last game I played last night, it was a 100 or was it an hour and 20-minute game,
Oh my goodness.
and I was Nyx, and Nyx has just this interesting high ground defense with his Agnums. It's just like,
With the burrow, yeah. And the Treant. Well, nobody on this listening to this cast will know, but we've been talking about Treant quite a bit today, probably because of me. I think that is an interesting ban, but one of the most powerful heroes going right now. Amazing right click.
yeah, certainly a lot of base damage. That hero. I haven't tried this myself, but what about like a phylactery tree?
Well,
That's
Chrome actually did
exactly what I
Kanda.
did. I went Conda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
imagine that base
well,
damage probably translates to a lot of Conda damage.
it's that leech seed, and you max that out, and basically you're just on top of people, and nobody. I haven't found a hero that can sustain it at this point, especially early. Axe
Well, they
pick,
banned the Axe.
axe
They're
ban.
worried about someone getting on top of them.
Yeah.
Could see a sniper. And Dazzle.
Well, getting the axe out and picking the dazzle is
Yeah.
a pretty good move.
Maybe we might see a Legion here for the Lost Boys.
Only
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Turn my game sound just a little bit up.
Radiant team pick.
Okay, Spirit Breaker. I mean,
Interesting.
great hero, kind of can engage the map globally. Able to put a lot of pressure on sort of the early and mid game.
10 seconds to pick.
I'm guessing that's going to be a position 4.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
I've seen it played as a 3.
For sure.
Dire
Could do.
team
It's a
are
flex
picking.
pick. Oh
Nope,
wow.
that's their
Oh,
3.
boy.
That's their 3.
Woo.
I hate playing against a Night Stalker.
So do
Because
I.
once he gets Phylactery and he's got his ult going, he's a pretty unstoppable force, especially in the early game to mid game.
Very high tempo, and certainly with a
10
Spirit Breaker that's
seconds to
kind of able to support his ganks. It's going to be a scary
5
prospect
seconds
for Lost
remaining.
Boys.
Yeah, not to mention that silence, which you just have to watch out for.
Vengeful Spirit.
Ooh, so we got 3 supports technically. So this Venge might be a mid.
Venge is an interesting one. A few years back, I was running this hero as a position 3, where you rush Agnums. And then you just
Only 10
put a whole
seconds.
bunch of auras on you.
I'd be worried though for the
5
Lost Boys.
seconds
If this
remaining.
Night Stalker gets on top of any 3 of these supports,
Yeah, they're
it could
certainly
be
squishy.
dangerous.
Super squishy so far. Dazzle's kind of nice that he can buff squishy heroes up, healing and keeping them alive.
There's
Here
their
comes some
tanky.
beef. Here comes some beef.
That could be the offlane or the carry, as we've seen the
Or it could be the
DK.
mid. It could be the mid.
Nah, I doubt they'd want to put him in the mid, especially after having a Nyx, Dazzle, and a Venge.
I think Lost Boys are going to need to watch out for. I think the next bans need to focus on a mid ban and really think hard about what they don't want to go up against. I feel like a Queen of Pain would be pretty devastating with that burst damage.
Or even a Void Spirit.
A Void Spirit,
Yes,
and I
yeah.
believe Octavian's played the Void Spirit. I could be wrong, but
There goes the Zeus, there's the mid.
tons of they're going to control the map. Big Chig's looking to have some serious control over the vision on the map, and I think Spirit Breaker is going to be.
Dire's ban.
There's the OD ban. Kind of called that one. Respect
Yeah,
ban
that's
for
definitely a
Octavian.
respect ban on Octavine, yeah.
What are you guys seeing in terms of damage? Which team is supporting a good amount of damage, and the type of damage too?
Well, it's a bit even on the big
Pretty
Chig All
Radiant's
Stars.
ban.
You got magical and physical, but more magical. And the same with the Lost Boys currently. But the one thing I'm worried about the Lost Boys
Your
is
team are now picking.
if the Zeus ults, the Spirit Breaker has free reign to just see anyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if he catches this Dazzle or this Venge low, he's just going to charge them.
I do like the Zeus pick. It adds like a good chunk of damage
10
against that
seconds
team.
to pick.
They 100% need a pipe this game on the Lost
5
Boys.
seconds remain.
There's a few heroes, as soon as I see them, I'm like, pipe. Zeus being one of them, Venno being another. Lich now, since we're seeing so much of
Ooh.
Lich kind of feels
So
like a pipe pie too.
CHIG All-Stars have banned the Void. That's
Two
interesting.
huge respect bans here, and
Mm.
I was kind of talking about how the Lost Boys were going to need to consider some mid bans, but it really went the other way, and Big Chig taking out some big mid picks.
Well,
from
those
off.
two heroes, OD and Void, both counter this Zeus really hard, don't they? So
Mhm.
he's not going to want to play. He's probably said, I don't want to play against these two heroes.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm wondering on what's their next pick on the Lost Boys, because the 3 picks at their start, any one of them, in a sense, could be the mid, but I doubt the Dazzle. But if they need to pick either a hard carry or something big and tanky, like a Centaur.
I'm thinking the Dragon Knight's going to be position 1. They're going to pick a mid. I'm guessing.
Only 10
But I
seconds.
worry that this Wraith King's going to be able to just farm, because the rest of his team are just going to be running at them.
Hurry.
I think they probably want something in the front. Like, DK's a good front. Nyx Assassin doesn't really provide too much. I mean, he's got some decent crowd control, but in terms of absorbing damage, he doesn't necessarily do that well. I'm thinking they're going to want to pick something that's Lifestealer still on.
Could it be like a Ricky? Oh no, Zeus, what am I talking about?
No.
I'm guessing it's going to be a Lifestealer. That's my guess.
Lifestealer is a great call, and
But
usually one that if you forget to ban it, you might get picked.
That would put DK mid, though. If they do Lifestealer, I think.
Would. Which isn't the worst thing, but he'll
It
struggle.
could be DK offlane and Venge or something mid. That's the thing.
All right.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
I have no idea.
I mean, Viper adds some good damage to the lineup.
Octavine on the Viper.
Not the squishiest of heroes either. Like, it's got some natural magic resists that keep the hero alive.
A2K is
What about these
on
hats,
the
guys?
mid.
What do we think?
CM's pretty basic, kind of lets that team down a bit, but the Viper's basic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I personally say Lost Boys. I'd say Lost Boys, because they just look cool. Them 4 heroes there.
I'm going to give it to the Lost Boys. I agree.
I like the Zeus. A2K Zeus is definitely rocking some nice pieces there.
Yeah, but the rest of his team haven't got the great oomph behind them with the hats.
All right. So Big Chig All-Stars versus the Lost Boys. This is game 1. Both these teams, we're going into week, what is this, 4 now into the tournament?
Week 4 already.
I think so, yeah. Week 4, yeah.
Wow.
Right, so on the Dire side, for the, what is this? We're looking at Lost Boys. We've got Rufio on the DK, Octavine on the Viper, Rex Cow is going to be playing our Vengeful Spirit, we've got Tremolo Soul on the Dazzle, and Sergeant Sarcasm filling in for the team. It's going to be playing the Nyx Assassin. On the Radiant side, on the Big Chig All-Stars, we've got Giga Beef playing the CM, Berlango playing the Spirit Breaker. The Gurney Weaver is on the Wraith King. And we've got A2K, Joe Biden, on the Zeus. Did I miss anybody?
It's quite funny, actually. They've smoked in the opposite directions.
They've actually just created a giant circle around the
So
entire
funny.
map here.
Both teams smoked and both teams went in the other complete directions. Oh, it
This is
seems
not
like
that uncommon.
the Radiant are going to connect now because they realise that the team are on the other side. They see the Dragonite.
Oh,
The
they're bright.
smokes pop.
Sun's going to come out on the Wraith King onto the Dazzle. No charge on Spirit Breaker. This Wraith King's taking a lot of damage.
He's getting low.
He's dead.
Down. He's not dead yet. Not dead yet. Now he's dead.
Life begins.
I've run into this Wraith King living for a few extra seconds.
Spirit Breaker in trouble.
Oh, yeah, he's going to go down as well.
Okay, that's 2. Picked up on the side of the Lost Boys.
Viper will be starting this lane off without any mana at all.
I think it was the supports picking up the kills on there. I think they're gonna Tremolo Soul and Lyra are gonna fight it out a little bit here. Lyra is gonna TP back. Don't want to stay too long with that poison touch on you.
A long TP.
We're gonna have Zeus versus Viper. I guess think of this lane.
It's good in a sense because the Zeus is going to be able to attack him from distance with the spells. But if this Viper can get on top, like near the Zeus is going to struggle.
Yeah, I think it can stay relatively even, to be honest. A little bit tricky Octavine starting the lane off without any mana from that exchange at the beginning, but
Definitely feel like Viper does well to dominate the lane, but Zeus is this kind of hero that can get what it needs out of the lane simply just by staying back, throwing in a few arc lightnings to secure last hits.
yeah,
A
that's what
hero
we'll
that
have to do.
faces pretty well against the Viper. In this safe lane for the Radiant side, we got Charney Weaver. We got Wraith King and CM versus the Nyx Assassin and the Venge. I think it is maybe a Venge 3, like you were calling.
Mm-hmm.
No, you were saying Venge mid. I was thinking Venge 3, but not. I haven't played that in a while.
Well, I was saying all that until the Viper got picked, and then I was lost.
Nyx and Venge are kind of an interesting pairing in that both these heroes like to have farm. So, I mean, Nyx Assassin can kind of pick up farm on its own with Mind Flare. I can see the Venge picking up the lane farm's a good move. In the top lane, so it's going to be Night Stalker and Spirit Breaker, 2 melee heroes.
They have been
versus-
brawling quite a bit, though. This is the only thing. The Night Stalker doesn't have any regen like Tangos or anything at the moment. But seeing as it is night time, which is quite lucky for him to start off in that, they have been brawling a bit.
Yeah, both these guys on the Radiant side don't have any regen at the moment. Meanwhile, Rufio on the DK with natural regen and 6 tangos is ready to take some damage.
He ain't scared to
Pretty
fight
free to
against
go
these
in there and secure his last hits.
Yeah, looks like A2K's sporting a good lead so far with the Zeus. 14 last hits and 5 denies. But Venge also with 14 last hits, getting what they need out of the lane so far.
Yeah,
So
both
this
players with the
Viper's now getting a raid band, which is fair enough. But I'd really recommend him getting a stick.
Yeah, that's a great call. You know Zeus is going to be spamming. And
Yeah,
I think
and he
that'll
has
give
been.
you-
He's literally getting
Good mana.
all his last hits are with the arc lightning.
Yeah, Stick's always an interesting one in the mid lane. Certainly like against heroes like Zeus.
Oh, they're
that-
going to go on the Wraith King in the bottom lane.
Yeah.
Blood Grenade coming out. He's getting stuck by his own creeps. He's going to
Turn
turn,
it.
try and go on this
Hold
Nyx
it. There we
Assassin.
go,
Nyx is
there
going
we
to go
go.
down.
There's that Wraith King dynamic. The Nyx technically went down before Wraith did. Bring to
CM's
XP
gonna
and
need
go.
to be careful here. Gigabeef.
Yeah, he's got some stick
Be able
charges.
to run
and stuff.
back.
They're fighting it on the top lane here. Lango getting low, but now charging in. Dazzle goes
Dazzle's
down.
going to go down.
We do have Sergeant
Nyx is
Sarcasm
rotating.
TPing up.
They see him.
Still nighttime though. Has to be careful.
Rotation is going to leave Rex Cow kind of a bit vulnerable down here. This is kind of a squishy hero to be left alone in the lane. And if CHIG All-Stars notice that the hero is by themselves, they might get a little bit aggressive on Rex Cow.
Hey, you're one frostbite and a stun from Wraith King away from taking him down. Sergeant Sarcasm's return to lane.
They're going to go on the Venge now. Root's coming out with CM, stun from the Nyx. Mana drop.
Ooh, it's going to be very close here. Oh, Brit.
A little too close there. CM was getting low, but that's a lot of damage that comes out of Wraith King. There are 2 stuns on their side is quite deadly.
Gurney Weaver not afraid to just go in there and hit heroes.
Berlango takes the poison touch, but he's just going to walk it off.
Zeus does have his ult now.
And they have to be worried about. That's a good 300 damage that kind of comes out
Wraith
globally.
King's going onto the Nyx in the bottom lane now. Well, the Wraith King's getting very low, he's down.
That's a kill on the pause 1.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
Both sides of this lane are sporting a decent amount of stun and damage. The top lane, getting close to the Radiant Tower now. We have the catapults out on the wave. This is going to be a decent push. Dire side.
Dire have fortified their towers.
We're going to use that glyph. It's going to do some good damage here.
Good pressure being done from the the Dire side to the top Radiant Tower.
Timed it very well with the daytime and Night Stalker kind of losing a little bit of that edge.
Yeah, he did piss, or he did take the facet that's switching the day and night cycle.
That's right.
Usually not a big fan of the facet. I don't get how it.
Zeus is coming in. Berlango taking quite a bit of damage, but it's gonna be a lot of magic. There's the ult.
I think those are going down. Nice Stalker's getting going on now.
Viper with a nice rotation. It's gonna take the Night Stalker down.
Spirit Broker might just cost his own life.
Tower is being attacked.
Berlango's charging in to try and save his buddy, but I think it's going to end him up getting himself killed.
That'll be that.
Double kill coming on the
Action
right
in the
side.
bottom lane as well. The Skywrath went down. Kind of missed the action, but
Gyraf's wife. Or partner. Venge. Venge.
oh yeah, those Arcanas really messed me up.
Yeah,
like
they,
that.
they look really similar. They do.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
Yeah, I don't know. Switching the day-night cycle, like, feels like you're kind of off-putting this hero's power spikes in weird ways. Not ways that kind of help the laning stage. Not ways that really help
Dire's
the,
middle tower taking damage.
the point where you're reaching your level 6 and you're starting to deal damage with an item. We got A2K looking for a kill, moving in here. Has the haste rune. Does see the dazzle. He's got some healing to keep himself alive. But there are 3 heroes down here. Oh, they do catch the dazzle, and Nyx Assassin gets the nice carapace down. But just the damage coming out of Zeus is a bit too much at this point.
I take my offerings.
Radiant's middle
It's
tower
getting
is
low,
taking
but still alive. He does have the Helm of Iron Will, so he will regen.
They are going to trade 2 for 1 in that bottom lane, so it does go off on Radiant's side, but the CM does go down. As we were saying, the Night Stalker is going straight Flak Tree now.
Our pretty looking even. We're at 7-7, and in terms of last hits, it's looking quite even on the top. And just
I'd say
Night
it's more on the
Stalker-
Dyer's side. And DK, Viper, and Venya in the top 4.
Yeah, Night Stalker lagging a bit behind on the last hits compared to the rest of the cores. Okay, moving around the map, getting the bottle. This is kind of what you want to do as Zeus. If you're in the mid lane, you get a nice power spike. How comes
Oh,
the
they're
ult?
going to go on the top lane. The ult on the Night Stalker's going to go on the Dazzle. He's going to come in. Spirit Breaker's going to trying to hit with the bash. Nice's going to go down. DK's coming in with the ult. Viper's going to rotate now to try and join the fight.
Oh, he
He's going
cancels.
to cancel his TP.
Cancels.
It was a good little scare tactic, just popping out the mid on the top lane and getting back, but a bit
Yeah.
late for the Dazzle, sadly.
Probably better for him to stay in the mid lane now that the fight's kind of over up there and he's got a decent push going in the mid lane right now, uncontested. Well, they are going to go on Rufio.
Going up. Ooh, nice stun from DK, but it's going to be a lot to overcome. Silence comes
Night
out.
Stalker's coming into silence. Dazzle's in now. He hasn't got his Shallow Grave, sadly. But it's not
No
going to
Shallow
help.
Grave yet. You typically want that Shallow Grave by level 5, depending on how the lane's going, obviously, but...
Especially if you have a Zeus against you, I find.
Absolutely.
Let's see, I'm committing her ultimate in the bottom lane, but getting swapped to cancel. She's
Viper
almost
has
near
taken the
taking
mid lane.
2.
Gurney's going to be able to clean up here. Stun comes out.
Nice turnaround.
Dyer's bottom tower under fire.
And Journey Weaver still has the ultimate too, so the Wraith King ultimate wasn't committed in that fight.
Dyer's bottom
Get some
tower
items.
in
We've got
attack.
Armlet being built on the DK. Just mana boots for Tremolo's Soul and the Dazzle. Looking towards that factory on Lyra with the Night Stalker. Don't know yet on the Spirit Breaker. And looks like Phylactery is being built by A2K on Zeus.
Stun comes out on the Wraith King, followed up by the stun from the Nyx. It's going to do some damage to Wraith King here. Might be looking for some more action in this bottom lane.
Yeah, Octavine waiting for the rune. Now he is working his way down. We also got a Tremolo coming through the portal. That's 4 bottom.
The Lost Boys are looking to take this Wraith King down. Gonna get some
Armlet
big
now
damage
on the Wraith
Crystal
King.
Maiden.
Dyer's middle tower taking damage.
Octavine's gonna
This
go
Maiden
right
is
into
gonna
tower,
go
doesn't
down.
mind.
They're going to die for this Wraith King. The TPs need to come in on the Radiant side.
I think they're gonna have to do it again here, but
Committing
Spirit Breaker is
for it.
coming
Swap's going to
in.
come out.
Does have the armlet, but a little bit too much pressure.
Fortified.
Rotations to kind of help him. And a bit late at that point.
Spirit Breaker is going to continue to charge.
Don't think he
Gotta
wants to
really
go in
think about
here.
what
This
he's doing
is
here. This
Night
is
Stalker.
Viper's going to go down. They're going to continue. The Spirit Breaker Ultimate's going to come out on the next Assassin. Night Stalker's going to try and make a play here. DK's come in to rotate in to join the fight finally. CM ult's going to go down. It's going to throw down some damage, but the stun's going to come out and cancel it straight away. The Zeus is here now trying to bring some damage to the fight. Zeus is going to go right by engine low. Zeus getting sent out on the tower. Zeus is going to go down. Picking up the kill, which was good. The Shadow's coming out of the middle. Wraith King's joining the fight, trying to lose damage. Viper's back in from dying. This is bad for the Wraith King. He's got no ult now. He's going to go down as well. I'd say that fight went in the more for the Dire side.
huge engagement. Definitely initially
What a
that Spirit Breaker. I was a little worried about the Spirit Breaker charging
It's not over,
in.
guys. They're coming right back at it. They want more. Gigabeef going to take major damage from the Nyx Assassin. That's an easy pick off there.
This is what you want to see this hero doing. Scoping out the squishy targets and getting one of those extra kills. Yeah, overall, looks pretty good for the Dyer's side in that matchup there in the fight. I think it was a good
Yeah,
turn.
The thing is the Radiant just overcommitted too much. A2K dived the tower, so did the Wraith King.
Radiant have fortified their towers.
Yeah,
It just
overplayed the
wasn't
hand a
worth
little
it.
bit, but I think it's just the tempo of the match right now, and you're starting to see you know, the team rolling as 4.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
Kind of what we've been seeing in a lot of the games is this snowball effect, and I really think the Lost Boys have a draft that can get pickoffs and start to snowball a little bit here.
Looks like the Radiant are going to go on this DK. The Night Stalker's behind him. Stun off on the Night Stalker from the dot. Spirit Breaker's going to charge in. The Zeus is coming in with the damage. Silence going out. Is the DK going to get away? Oh, yes, he is. Down in the top
in. Oh,
Octavian killing the Spirit Breaker. Lyra's going to pick up the DK though. Nyx Assassin next to the Zeus.
Watch all of the. They've got the shield rune on them. Decent
yeah, it's
amount.
doing some big work for him.
Oh, that's a lot of damage coming out on A2K.
Just to be careful, that Zeus can kind of consistently just pump out damage as long as it's got mana. Ult goes out.
That's a down on the Zeus. I will find the Dire are not afraid to just rotate to pick up a kill.
Definitely good rotations. They're doing well to communicate and to make sure that they've got the backup to kind of win these fights so far.
They're really sticking as 4 and letting Rufio kind of have the rest of the map to go and find that safe farm.
This much fighting, it's like looking at last hits is one thing, but a lot of net worth now comes out of these fights. We have the charge on the Viper into the base. The hit,
Wow.
but doesn't have his ult up. It's just 5 seconds cooldown. Did not see the cooldown of his ult there.
You got to think he's going to want that one back.
Yeah. Stalker does have the ult, but doesn't want to commit. DK is nearby in dragon form. It's the stun.
Stun's gonna
Stun's going to go out.
In a bit of trouble
Swap
here.
coming out on the Vengeful Spirit. The Night Stalker's going to go down. Zeus is here though. They're going to back up. They're scared of this DK with the dragon form.
Is being attacked.
Yeah, not a great commitment of the ult, and you're going to be sitting on 26 seconds of your own ult nighttime.
I'm going to look to just knock this tower over here.
Under threat.
All this Zeus is going to get grabbed, I think.
Top tower is fallen. Dire's
Oh yeah, this Nyx is going to get him now. Stun's going out. Another stun from the DK.
So far, both sides doing well to pressure the other side. One fight breaks out, and then immediately after, the other team responds, and Breaker getting
Wango in a
caught.
lot of trouble here.
Be careful, they're outnumbered. It is daytime, so Night Stalker is a bit handicapped at this point.
Radiant's middle tower is
Taking ult is up, but Hero wants to farm more than wants to fight at this point.
Neither team with an observer ward in that triangle. They've each got a sentry, but
We do see some drawings coming out here.
being attacked.
yeah, they're looking to get rid of that ward and maybe get some vision up in there.
Our team taking a foothold into the Radiant jungle. They put some sentries down, but Radiant aren't going to let it go.
Stalker's
They're
got to be
walking
careful
in.
here. Kind of walking straight into
Silence
it.
is going to come out on the Night Stalker. Spirit Breaker's charging in on the Nyx. Wraith King's coming in now to try and do some damage.
Wraith King's gonna have trouble getting to where
He's going to get
needs to be.
slowed. There's a CMO with the Glimmer Cat coming out. The swap's coming out though to cancel it. Wraith King's now back in the fight.
Okay, so
DK's joining the
Damage
fight
coming
though.
from the Big Chig All-Stars.
coming in is doing some decent damage to these heroes.
DK's really strong here.
Not going to be
No
able to
ult on
back this
Cherry
up.
Weaver,
It's gonna
able
take
to-
him down.
All in all, that's 3 for 3.
Yeah.
See the power of this hero of just having an armlet, Mask of Madness is able to kind of show up and do a lot of damage, especially if the heroes are grouped up.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
I think
I'm really
there's,
worried for the Radiant here.
There's something to call out here with the CM ults. I think we've seen 3, maybe 4, but for sure 3. These Crystal Maiden ults are getting swapped out basically every time.
Yeah, the Venge doing very well to cancel those. I wonder if that pick was deliberate for the CM specifically. It's a great hero to cancel CM.
Yeah, if it was,
They're
I
going to
think
go on the
have,
Venge on the bottom lane.
He does
They're
have her
trying to get him.
egg, so even if they
Oh,
do
coming out,
kill her,
Spearbreaker.
she's still going to be in this fight.
Oh, they're going to take down this Spearbreaker now. I didn't even realise he had the eggs.
Yeah.
That was that's a pretty big iron to pick up early.
Radiant's top tower
Yeah.
Just able to stand the fight.
It really is.
It is.
Kind of rushed that item, and I think it's going to pay off at only 20 minutes into the game now. That's going to be a lot of fun to play Venge.
Yeah,
You basically don't have any downtime.
There's benefit
That's
of it.
go night time. Let's see if they're going to do anything with it. Nice Stalker's now like, oh, I'm ready. I'm pumped.
Yep.
Let's see
Master
if they try
Madness
and go
coming
into
out on
this
the
combo.
Dragon Knight now. I'm looking to work on a Sanjin Yasha.
Dire's top tower is being
Got
attacked.
Yule's on the Nyx Assassin.
Maybe they will attack Dire's towers for a few seconds here.
It's good to stop the CM ult. It's good to stop like Night Stalkers running at you, throwing them up into Yule's is kind of a good escape.
They smoke up on the
Lost Boys
Dire.
are smoked here.
They do see this CM behind the tower.
Is under siege.
Gigabeef needs to run the opposite direction as fast
He's
as humanly
getting-
possible because the Nyx, I
Oh.
think, just spotted her out.
Dire's top tower
He's
is
so,
being
yeah.
attacked.
Gigabeef's going to be in a lot of trouble here. The Mind Flare comes out. She pops the Glimmer
Oh.
Cape, but the
Oh,
dust
he's
comes
gonna-
out. Octavine going to be in there to clean that up, and the ult comes out, but too late.
Oh. The Night Stalker's now in onto the Venge. Spirit Breaker's charging in on the Viper. Zeus is doing some serious damage. Ult's going to come out on the Zeus. Venge and Nyx on very low health here. Nyx is going to go down. Vengeful Spirit still has the Aghanim, so he's still in the fight, but he's going to get on. He's on his own. They're going to bring down the
Scout
Venge
gonna
here
go
as well.
down here.
It was a good fight for the Radiant there. They had to commit a lot though for that.
Clawing back some of that net worth and gold advantage that Dire was having. Just 1k off now. Difference.
Guys, by far the closest game, the most even match that I think I've witnessed throughout the entire tournament, personally.
I was actually thinking that there weren't going to be as much fighting, to be honest, at the start of this, but 20 minutes in, there's been nothing but fighting.
Yeah, I've come to expect it to be nothing but fighting the whole time. Couple little pauses here for some farm, but
Looking like DK Zeus, they're kind of almost neck and neck here in terms of net worth, but I would argue what we're seeing in these recent lineups, having this net worth on DK might just go a little bit further than the Zeus.
Radiant's
Depending on
core
if
has
the
been
entire team end up buying a pipe or not.
big fight breaking out in the Radiant jungle here. Shallow grave out.
He's going to save the Dazzle with the swat. This Wraith King's got no ult, but he is looking a bit scary. The Wraith King's going to go down.
It's a hit in
Not
with the
able to pull
catch.
down Octavine.
Oh,
He's gonna get
Octavine's trying to
away.
run. The
Force
Zeus is going
Staff
to pick him
comes
up
out,
now.
and the Zeus will get him.
They're going to go on this. Oh, the CM is going to get stunned from his ult straight away by the Venge. The DK's here now.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
They're probably going to disengage a bit now.
Dire's middle tower has
A2K really providing just a lot of that backline damage in these fights, and I think they're going to need to find a way to try to get on him, but it's going to be difficult.
They are relying on A2K for this damage though, which I worry. As you said, if they get on top of him with this Nyx or something, it's going to be worrisome. I think the fight might crumble a bit if the Zeus isn't there to get the outgoing damage.
Really interesting here. I'm just taking note. I don't know if this is actually going to happen, but A2K with the Boots of Travel queued up in the quick buy.
Yeah.
Already has a pair of arcane boots. Could this be a 2-boot game?
Interesting.
No, it'll probably get rid of the mana boots, which I don't know why. I don't think you can
Disassemble
I don't think you can anymore.
Okay, that explains it. I thought this is odd, but must be a reason for it.
I wonder if he's wanting to split them up a little more and looking towards maybe split pushing into the latter game. But
So they know. So they're smoked in the jungle. They know they just got their shot, so they know they're above them.
yeah, Our
Could
team
be
might
some
be
big
walking right
action
into the
here.
smoke.
There we go.
Here we go.
Stalker found. It's in a bit of trouble. They do get the
Azul's
Dazzle
going to go
right
down
off.
straight away. Swap coming out on the CM. He has got his ult in a second. Is he going to pop it?
E2K just dealing so much damage.
Oh,
from the back.
Rufio's getting a bit low here. Night Stalker and Zeus trying to team up on DK. DK's going to go down. Wraith King's going to go down once from Viper, but he's back up. Blink coming out on this Night Stalker, going to jump on the Viper. They're going to dive this tower for him. Spirit Breaker's here now. The swap coming out trying to save the Viper.
Yeah.
As you said, A2K's got this damage and he's not afraid to use it.
We've dieback on Octavine here. This is a huge fight for the Big Chig All-Stars.
This game is so back and forth, it's crazy.
They need a pipe. Dire side need a pipe.
Yeah.
They're suffering to this damage of the Zeus. And by this stage in the game, like the amount of damage the hero pumps out, you need some way to mitigate that damage.
Yeah, and A2K is getting rich quick here. Just able to buy that soul booster straight up. Gonna make him that much more tanky and be able to just cast that many more spells. He's
got so much mana now, nearly 2,200 mana. It's just crazy.
quite something. But yeah, I think a pipe and some ability to maybe get on. I don't know how they're gonna get on top of him with these big heroes like Spirit Breaker and Wraith King just to bash you around.
This is what I want to see. Rexcal had the Diffusal Blade queued up before, but has now changed to pipe.
Interesting. Good call.
It's generally what you want to see on Venge. Like you've got the Agnum Scepter.
Wraith King's got picked.
So even if you end up dying once, your second life as their spirit's going to give the benefit of the pipe.
Rufio finishing up that Sanjin Yasha is going to definitely help in the next few fights here.
They are trying to sneak up on him here. Movement speed not quite in their favor.
Do you reckon the swap's going to come out here?
No.
They saw him there. They know that they're there.
Good retreat done by the Radiant there. Aware of where the enemy is moving to and just moving accordingly. BKB queued up for Night Stalker. I think that'll help kind of get them in that fight a little better.
So on Zeus, do you not go Kanda then? You just get this black Gritty and that's it really?
Yeah, I think the Agnums is a huge buy on the hero. I feel like a couple years ago, the Agnums was like the center point of the hero.
Wraith King's going to blink in, get stunned immediately from the
And this
DK.
tower.
Night Stalker's coming in now with the silence. Ult's going to go out on the Night Stalker from the Viper. Wraith King's trying to do something, but he's getting put down. Spirit Breaker's going to go down. The ult from the CM finally going to go off, but he's going to get cancelled. Oh, that's a big ult from A2K. Wraith King's going to go down, sadly, though. That's the death on the Vengeful Spirit, but his eggs are still up. A2K now wants to try and kill this Octavine. Are they going to be able to grab him? I think so. They're going in for him.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Venge is going to try and come back in to help, but it's not going to be to any avail. And the Night Stalker's illusion's going to go down there as well. That's a really big fight again for the Radiant.
Yeah, 4K lead now. Looks like they're starting to pull slightly ahead here.
The one thing that is bad is the fact that Rufio's living and the Wraith King isn't. So, in terms of, you know, your carry living.
Yeah, Rufio now going for the BKB. Gonna give him the damage resist and ability to kind of shrug off some of these spells that are getting thrown at him.
And that might be that answer for the Zeus. That little bit more of sustainability against the magic damage to get in there and try to pull him down. Because I think they're going to need that kill on the Zeus to start to turn the tides here a bit.
Radiant's going to go for Roshan, yeah.
It's not going to go down too easy, but
No, they haven't got a lot of that going damage quickly, have they?
I think the Lost Boys actually have time if they can. They can just start running there right now. But I don't know if they're going to be able
Well,
to.
they see him with the scan.
They've got the scan out, but it might be too late. Sigourney Weaver going to be a little bit low by the time they get there. It's getting close here, but they're going to get it.
Give it to the Wraith King. I guess because he is dying a lot, but he is sort of just charging in, so he can be a bit more overzealous with his first life and even his second life. Whatever happens, this next fight, when they use this Aegis, is going to be a big one.
For sure. We got a haste rune in the river now. Looks like Octavian's gonna come and grab it. Not sure they want to fight necessarily into the Aegis. But it's gonna give the Radiant a lot of space to kind of start taking over the map.
Rufio just about ready to finish up that BKB, which is going to be a big deal for him.
Yeah, Pipe also way there. I think those two items will be a big shift for the team fights if they can get them. Stalker now has the BKB. Both teams now just kind of, you know, cooling off a little bit, taking things out, thinking about their next fight, finishing their items.
How about this Octarine core on the Zeus?
Here's Octarine. Oh.
Yeah, and working on a scepter now, which is just another thing to think about if you're the Lost Boys.
Yeah, scary hero if you haven't sort of itemized and built against it. They're definitely going to be, I think the Lost Boys really need to focus on getting on top of that Zeus and trying to get that damage off their team.
Smoke's going to come out on the Radiant side.
Looking in the top here. Dire team is hanging out in their triangle. ED now up in the river.
They need to get that dude, I think.
We just have
Viper spots it on the wards.
Middle tower is being attacked.
double damage against the Aegis here, potentially, if they decide to show down.
Dire, obviously, Lost Boys are very reluctant to fight, seeing as this Wraith King's got the Aegis.
Octavian's now building towards an MKB, which I assume is for the Radiance. Kind of a tricky situation to be in. It does have the S and Y, which kind of is beefing up the hero pretty well. But now going for a straight damage item. Not wanting to go to BKB yet.
Yeah. Puts the pressure on to actually survive in these fights and be able to have enough time to deal the damage that you need.
Yeah, positioning is going to be huge then if that's the kind of route that the Viper's going.
100%. You see on the last fight, Viper was positioned better, and they had a better outcome. They were able to do a little bit more before, the big Chig actually pulled him down. But yeah, both teams just kind of taking a step back and farming up here.
They're both teams are sort of in the top jungle. They might be something to turn their head. They're going to probably push for this tower on the Radiant.
See how bad the Lost Boys want to defend it.
That's a tricky call. There's still the Aegis. Yeah, still Aegis.
Probably let it fall. I think you let it fall and you go for high ground at this point.
Yeah.
Especially with that Aegis on the Wraith King. He's got a minute left, so he's probably just going to run in there.
They spot out the
They
Nyx.
spotted him out.
Bit of trouble here. Stun. Dazzle going in to try and save
Shadow
him,
Blade.
but he's committing himself and perhaps the rest of his team. They do get the
Definitely just
Nyx
need to
though.
disengage.
Unfortunate spot out. They did have the vision there. The thing with Nyx Assassin is you got the sneakiness, but you have to be very mindful about where the enemy team is going to spot you, especially with a Spirit Breaker.
All the Wraith King's going to blink in. The Hex is going to come out in from the Dazzle. Night Stalker's now coming in with the Silence and the Dazzle.
10 seconds left on Aegis, but he's not going to go down twice. Aegis is going to expire and his ult is down.
CM ult's now doing something. The swap's going to come out and cancel it. The Wraith King's going to go in on the Vengeful. Vengeful's going to go down the 1. A lot of damage coming out
from Rufio.
Wraith King's dead now. Wraith King's going to go down.
But Rufio's
Night Stalker's going to look in low. Rufio don't give a fuck anymore. He's going in. He wants blood. CM's going to go down as well.
wow. Solid defense from the Lost Boys.
That was so, as you said, that was so much damage coming out from the DK then.
He's a force to be reckoned with. He's really been able to farm and had a whole lot of the map while the Lost Boys have been rolling his force since about the 12-minute mark. You think about late game and you look at this DK and maybe this is the thing that you got to be the most worried about right now.
So does he get cleave even on in the attacks
Yeah.
from the dragon? Wow.
It's splash damage. He's
That's why this hero is so scary right now. And even just like even a little bit of damage, and the splash, what is it? It's 60% cleave on hits.
huge
That was almost a disaster.
and gonna take up some real estate. The Lost Boys gonna get a tower here at the least.
And in dragon form, it gets an additional 40. Like right now, it's sitting at 40. So this hero ends up hitting more in the area than the actual hits. I'm reading this correctly.
Again, I think they tried to play a bit too aggressive because this Wraith King had Aegis, but once that Aegis was gone, they were just way too far in to be able to get out in time.
It's kind of unfortunate. This is why I think you never put Aegis on Wraith King, or very rarely. Like the hero already has an extra life, and you see there the hero went down, used up his ultimate, and then the Aegis expired. So it's like the mechanics aren't in your favor in that sense. It's not that you spend the Aegis first and then your ultimate goes off.
Should be like on Wraith King, you should have a certain ability or something that he can consume the Aegis,
Yeah,
so that like he gets another life.
That'd be something.
it needs something.
You know
right?
what I mean? Like you see shard or something that he can buy if he get Aegis, he can equip, he can
Yeah.
consume the Aegis, then it like refreshes his ult.
I think putting
But,
the Aegis on the Zeus would have worked out better for them, so that even if
Even the Night Stalker.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to ask yourself where's your damage coming from right now, and who's our MVP. And I think A2K's by far dealt the most damage here.
Yeah, we saw in the fight summary there, you can see the difference the pipe makes. Like on the fight summaries prior to, the damage on the Zeus was massive, but now that the Dire team has a pipe, you can see that hero is so dependent on this
Gonna
magic.
get out here, gonna catch out the Spirit Breaker TPing. It's gonna be enough to pull him down.
They're going to go on this fight now, knowing the Spirit Breaker's down.
Yeah,
Wraith King's going to
Lost
get
Boys looking
killed
to
now.
start
Oh,
a
no,
fight.
because they're going in with the silence. He's now picked off.
BKB's out everywhere.
This giant dragon now. Night Stalker's going to try and man fight the DK, but it's not going to work out too well. Wraith King's going to go down once. On top of the
Crystal
tower.
Skulls again gets stopped.
Shallow
right
Grave
away.
on the Nyx. He's going to get saved by this. The Wraith King's now dead. Night Stalker's going to go down as well. A2K's going to have to think about getting out of here, I think. Shallow Grave on the DK, saving his life from the Zeus.
Oh, he's just gonna get out.
This Dazzle really, really popping off now with these Shallow Grave saves.
A DD on the Zeus.
This
Gonna be
Nyx,
tough here.
this Nyx is going to catch this CM, I think. Oh no, maybe not. He's going to catch the CM.
Gonna want to get that
The Zeus. All the oh, he missed the stun.
the Nimbus just enough. I was saying you get the Nimbus down, and it was just enough to save him there. But A2K still needs to get
Looking. We're looking.
back. The Force Staff from the Crystal to get him out. Very good.
Save. You see that fight was going to
definitely
go
think-
like either way at various points, and very much dependent on this Zeus. DK got on top of the Zeus, and looks like Lyra was also looking to sort of help that engagement to get the Zeus down, but didn't finish it, and eventually Zeus was able to just kind of do enough damage to burst down a lot of the Dire.
I think they really have to, on this Radiant team, they really have to try and get this Dazzle pick off first, because he is saving everyone in those fights.
When you just see the items now coming online for the Lost Boys going into this later part of the game with the pipe now, the MKB, you know, they're finishing up those items and kind of moving on to, wow, Daedalus on Dragon Knight as well. So he's just going to be dealing massive damage.
Yeah, definitely scary to kind of... I mean, Zeus also sporting a lot of health and an escape. So, like, neither DK nor Zeus are easy targets to take down. Zeus kind of having a slight advantage in that the hero tends to be in the back more, and the enemy team has to run through more heroes to get to it. But then the Zeus is kind of working against this pipe.
Yeah, the pipe's going to make a huge difference.
He is going for the Ethereal Blade. He's going to add more damage to this hero. Certainly a nice way to disarm DK and kind of fight off against that hero. The MKB now on Octavine is working towards an Eye of Scotty. Sergeant Sarcasm was working on the Wind Waker. A little bit more mobility and escape. Wants to feel a little more comfortable being in the thick of fights. The spells that are going off on Nyx are important. So much looking doing the pick off sort of burst build, but to kind of be more of a utility for the team.
Here are 4 items. Sergeant Sarcasm spotting out Sigourney Weaver here.
Not sure if that's the pick.
They're gonna stun each other and probably start the fight. Spirit Breaker comes in and they're gonna take. Wow, Nyx went down and they're gonna want to disengage. Lost Boys probably.
Nice Stalker's going to pop his ult. They're going to catch this DK with the silence now, going in on the DK. He's very tamed. BKB's going to come back pretty early on. They're going to try and get on top of this Dazzle. Dazzle's going to get Yules off. Oh, the Zeus is going to get the Dazzle now.
Down.
This could look good now for the Radiant. Wraith King going on top of this Rufio. Swap coming out on the DK. Venger's going to go down the 1. CM ult has now been used. Oh, the stun interruption of the TP on the Viper. Oh, this is dangerous now. Triple kill on A2K.
Oh my goodness.
We got a crash. DK
What a
managed
turn.
to get out of there, eh? I didn't see where the DK got out.
I don't know if he TP'd or what. I think once he got swapped, he just disengaged.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. The Venge swapped him out.
Yeah, he really very much saved his life because they were all on top of him.
That's a good save.
As I said, they got on top of this Dazzle and it really started the fight off in their way.
Yeah, it looks like Dire were on the retreat there when getting caught. Kind of just had to scramble to try and get into position, but the rest of the Radiant team was already kind of ready to follow up and take what they wanted out of that fight.
You really see how much of an impact this Dazzle's been having in the fights when he's taken out of the equation and those shallow graves aren't coming out and the heals aren't there. It's a lot harder to sustain those fights.
Like Rex is back. Oh, what is our buyback? Buyback status. Dazzle and Nyx do not have buyback. But buyback on DK, buyback on Viper. They try and do a high ground. They definitely probably want to get a bit of a push going here to get something out of that win.
Still, the thing is, these fights are going either way all the time, but still very much neck and neck, I believe.
Definitely anyone's game still at this point. See what this
I will
high
say,
ground.
it seems like this Wraith King has fallen off of a bit. He's turned into more of just a bullet magnet.
Yeah, that tends to be kind of the nature of that hero, I feel. It's a lot of damage, able to chunk, but very easily kited and doesn't necessarily keep up into the late game as much as some Agi heroes.
Octavian
So-
here opting to buy back just to hold off the push and buy them some more time.
This Viper does get to level 25, becomes universal. With the Eye of Scotty, I think that's going to be a nice power spike for the Lost Boys. One that they're kind of needing at
Is
this
he going to
point.
get the Eye of Skadi though? That's the thing.
Getting there. It's getting there.
Very
It's-
expensive, yeah. Was it
with less and less
5.3k?
Still a ways away. Breeds are being built on Tremolo, so another aura on the team I think is also gonna go a long way.
I'm gonna look to take down this Tormentor here. Shouldn't have any trouble doing it.
Safe word.
Rufio will get his shard.
Fireball. Fireball.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
That should be a taunt.
Yeah. Fireball.
I need a soundboard with like sound effects.
Yeah.
That's really gonna kick these casts up to the next level.
Definitely.
And that one that goes.
Meme cast 2025. Welcome.
Oh, the Radiant are going for the Roshan. Are they going to give it to someone else this time? It looks like the Night Stalker might be taking it because he's freed up a slot.
Yeah.
Which is, I definitely recommend this.
Yeah, I typically favor the Aegis on someone, a frontliner that jumps in.
Oh, yep.
Like it's kind of a
Forget
toss
about
up
the banner.
between the hero that does damage, but then also just your frontline that typically is gonna end up going down first.
We'll see how
Oh,
committed the Spirit
look-
Breaker is.
Yeah, they look like they connect him. A2K is connecting with him. They see him. Oh, the Nimbus. Oh, the yaws on the Spirit Breaker. That was good.
Nice
DK's
heads up
gonna
play
sit on
from
the
Tremolo
outpost.
Soul to get out there.
Here we go. The fight's
DK
going to kick
is-
off with the DK
chose
TP
to
in.
TP
Spirit
in
Breaker's going to
here.
go to stun.
Fortunate
DK
timing.
coming out on the DK. Are they going to continue this? Are they going to just let him get away?
It's gonna let him get
Well,
out. He popped his BKB
Split
for
push on the Venge on the bottom lane. Someone's going to have to TP back to deal with him.
Radiant structures are
Getting charged
Spirit
now.
Breaker's going to charge.
He's gotta think that's coming any second now. Not gonna see it in the trees. He's gonna get hit. Rex Cow throws the stun out.
A2K is here.
The Nimbus and some big damage coming out on Rex Cow. Gonna pull him down.
Skull
The worst thing
definitely.
is he can't even TP.
Yeah, no. There's
It's all
a
these stuns.
4.5 second cooldown on the lightning bolt. Which is from the Spirit Breaker. A chance of a TP there is next to none. That is the pipe down on the team. It was a good sort of move to divert the team's attention to the bottom lane there. Stop the push onto the high ground.
Yeah, once you have tools like the Nimbus with a global ability like that, it's tough to kind of get away from your team and go off on your own.
So Wraith King is going into AC now, but I'm wondering if he's not buying it because he wants to save this buyback.
Yeah, buybacks definitely at this point are valuable for both sides. These high ground fights can certainly suddenly turn on you.
You got to think it might be that time for Big Chig here to kind of put the pedal down and push with that Aegis. Lyra's going in.
You have the banner down. That's going to keep those creeps alive.
Viper's gone in. Zeus. Viper's going to get saved with a full stop.
Aegis goes down.
DK's getting gone on now. BKB's going to come out on the Rufio. Wraith King's going to get hexed.
Fireball!
Look at
Doing
that
that
damage.
damage.
Look at that damage
there it
coming out of
is.
DK.
As soon as they run away, that's when Rufio
Night Stalker's going to
shines.
go in now. Silence coming out on the Night Stalker. Oh, the grave again on this DK, keeping him alive.
Wraith King in trouble.
Wraith King's dead now.
They might be in trouble here. They pulled the Rufio down. It's going to be out for a little bit of
Yeah.
while here.
Octavine, though, showing teeth now at this point in the game. It's a decent high ground defense or attempt, but
Radiant's top tower
see how much
is
just like trying to get up that hill can be a mountain to climb up. Even with like A2K in the back, able to pump out damage kind of freely. It wasn't enough. DK just needs to get a few right clicks out on a few grouped up heroes and the health bars just dive.
Yeah, I think that was very telling. You know, I actually thought Big Chig was going to be able to. When you look at how much tower damage was actually done and using up the Aegis like that, I don't think that was in their favor. Despite getting the carry.
He'll have a 6k net lead on side of the Big Chig All Stars. But this is certainly still anyone's game.
A lot of that being taken up by Zeus here, who's really actually running out of inventory slots at this point. Has more gold than he knows what to do with.
Going for a refresher.
I was
Decent
I was
damage
actually
add.
thinking, would a refresher on this Road King be a decent idea?
It gives the hero an extra life, but it's an expensive item. Like refresher's a nice item, but it's at 5k. It's a lot of net worth.
Would you not consider Scepter over that even?
Yeah, Scepter might just do a little better because it's more his teammate that needs to be staying alive more than the hero itself at this point.
Yeah, and now with the AC basically all complete, it's, I don't know, it's going to be a long time before he...
Guardian Greaves now on the Dazzle.
I think the refresher on Zeus makes a lot of sense because, like, the damage out of Wraith or a second Nimbus and Thunder God's Wrath. That's a huge amount of damage. But
That's almost like having 4 ults.
exactly. Exactly.
Sorry guys, inside joke for the real fans out there.
The true fans.
Got to get my Lincolns.
Yeah, no Lincolns on them.
I think next assassin spawning out this Road King.
Sergeant Sarcasm.
I did see Sergeant in that fight on the high ground there. Sergeant Sarcasm got a nice pick with his ult. I think it was on the Night Stalker. It's like
Oh, what, his first life?
maybe the Wraith Kings, but I saw it as like a big damage add to the fight to take down one of the heroes.
Alright, we got a power spike happening. Rufio completing the Aghanim Scepter. We've got the full Elder Dragon form.
Oh, that's going to be big for this next fight.
Viper now
Has swapped out the
universal.
amulet.
Boarding a happy 350 damage.
Oof.
Yeah.
This hero is no joke in the late game.
Well, that happened a little sooner than we thought.
Yeah, that
And-
successful high ground defense definitely helped.
Scotty is not far behind, so big power spikes coming out on the Lost
We can
Boys.
actually buy it now. He just want to buy back, or he doesn't have
Yeah,
buyback.
he's being
anyway.
wary about the buyback, and that's smart to do.
You see, like Viper and DK are the two heroes that the Radiant team are gonna have to take down in order to start winning these fights. Not an easy task, especially with the Dazzle behind them, especially with the Venge swaps.
Yeah.
These boys are on their high ground defending, but they certainly have the tools to turn this around.
This'll come in handy.
sustains, gold remains.
Harpoon and Akonda finished up on Night Stalker, and the Blink to get on top of them. Each side really beefing up here. Some big items coming out. We got we're only 8 minutes away from tier 5 items. I don't know if we're going to see that, but
What is it with these tournaments and the game's going really long?
well, we cast a couple that were both 30-minute matches in this
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah. Remembering the
I think it was-
normal game length.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I do like these matchups. It's been such an even back and forth here.
Yeah, certainly all
This
teams
one-
are sporting some good lineups and some good Good moves in battles.
You got to wonder, you know, are the big Chig All-Stars here just kind of waiting for another Roche? But Aegis hasn't really been that big for them, so you got to wonder what their strategy is going to be to kind of get up that hill, like you said, Lynx, without really being able to split. It's just sort of, we're at this point in the game where it's a high ground defense, and someone's going to have to make a move.
Yeah,
It's very much anyone's play here. If they push the high ground and it doesn't turn out good, then the Dire can quite easily run down mid. But obviously, if there's buybacks or whatever, it'll change. But yeah, it's very much, it's scary for both teams. There's not like, it's not like the Radiant are very much, oh, we're confident in taking this high ground. It's either going to look down for they're going to try and get a pick, but it doesn't seem like the Dire is actually protruding their base for that to happen. I just realised there is a halberd now on the Venge.
Interesting.
good pickup. Able to kind of disable Wraith King or Night Stalker or even the Spirit Breaker from right-clicking.
Yeah.
Certainly the evasion is a nice bonus for the hero too.
It's that part of the game, guys, where it's all about patience, and your nerves have been kind of pushed and stressed for just about an hour, and you know, that anticipation for the fight starts to build, and you're just waiting, and you don't want to be the one to kind of walk out a little too far and start this thing at the wrong time.
Yeah. Big stress on the initiators of the fight. And when you're in these situations, you think to yourself, okay, this is what my hero does. This is the best thing I can probably do in a team fight. But if you're the one who's going in first, you really have to be absolutely certain that the rest of your team is ready and on board for what's about to happen.
Right. And even there, Rex Cow going just a few steps outside of the high ground and has to come back right away. Big Chigs kind of snuffed that out.
I mean, I think the Lost Boys are just perfectly content waiting for the Radiant team to make a move.
Oh, Scardy is now being finished on the Viper.
They know where they're strong, and they don't have to do anything right now. They really just have to wait.
Yeah, certainly Radiant team hoping for a pick-off. That would make their high ground so much easier.
Interesting. We're going to see the Satanic coming out on Rufio. Probably just going to look to disassemble the Mask of Madness. And
when did this Zeus get a Scythe of Vice?
Yeah, he was building towards it.
Incredible.
Great late game item. Enjoys the mana regen. Refresher will refresh it as well, so you can keep a hero stunned for a good second.
They'll be looking to use that on Dragon Knight here to pull him down and focus a lot of their energy on trying to take him out. I was thinking he was going to finish up, you know, maybe do the Scepter and then bring that Armlet back in, but it looks like he's just selling that off.
Yeah, Armlet kind of dwindles a bit in the late game. Certainly an item to replace eventually once you're getting 6 slotted.
Oh, the Dire are going to push out their base, going to go on the Spirit Breaker here.
Moving back.
It's going to come out on the Zeus.
Do a bit of a bite there, but didn't want to take the whole meal.
I'm not sure if they realized that the Big Chig All-Stars were actually kind of split up there, and maybe they could have pushed that a little more, but...
Yeah, they probably likely didn't have the vision to kind of see where the enemy was, so... Played from their own perspective.
I think they split up because of the Zeus all come out, and they thought some more, like, the enemies were going to pop out and blink on top of them, because there is a lot of blinks on them.
We're going to see the Roche here, guys. Probably the third Roche. Lyra spotted it out and just kind of calling the team over.
Ooh, Refresher Shard and Cheese. Refresher Shard on this.
Big Roche.
I'd like to see Refresher Shard on this Wraith King.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how you play it. Wraith King takes the Refresher. Lyra grabs the Aegis. even if the Lost Boys started to run now, it wouldn't really make a difference. The Big Chig only needing to commit 2 heroes to take down Roche.
Oh, the Night Stalker's going to pick up the shard.
She's in the banner.
Cheese is left.
They're going, hey guys, we don't have any more space. You got to come take the cheese
Zeus is
and the
gonna
banner.
get-
Like, I'm not taking it.
All the cheese has been left.
They're just banner and cheese are just sitting there, and it's kind of
Yeah, I
Why
think
didn't the
the
Wraith King grab the cheese?
Beer Breaker
driving
can
me
swap out the wand for the cheese.
or the drums or anything for that matter.
Yeah,
But
even on CM, the cheese wouldn't be bad instead of stick.
interesting. We're getting a pause here. We're gonna have a little bit of time to breathe and maybe take a look at
I
the.
was just going to
Cameraman.
say, they've probably got a pee. That's probably what it is.
Cameraman needs to take a break here too. Are they gonna pause? I can survive. I can wait.
Someone's got to go get those items. Surely they can't just sit there.
They're just going to stay there.
I don't know
That's
if I've ever
crazy.
quite seen that happen before.
Yeah. Banner is definitely
Especially the
something.
banner, fair
yeah,
enough,
yeah,
but the
you don't-
cheese.
The banner could be huge, and maybe a split push is. I mean, it's a hard call. How do you work a split push into this lineup?
We're looking at tier 5 items in 15 seconds. Right,
Run.
run, Links,
I'm
run.
running. I'm running.
This is the pause break. Well, 15 seconds off tier 5 items. How much of an impact is that going to have, depending what comes out?
If there's honestly, if there's something like Stygian Desolator on this Night Stalker, I think that could be quite scary.
Yep.
Wraith King could pick up the same, or even Giant's Ring. You know.
Absolutely. I mean, even something like Force Boots that open up another, just another inventory spot for one of these.
So about halfway through this game, right?
Yeah, these guys are planning to go at least 80 minutes here, I think.
100%. I reckon Sear Stone on this Zeus could be pretty big.
Absolutely. Or maybe we see a bunch of Giants rings and just have a real fun time here.
Have raid bosses on the go.
Yeah, just the raid boss.
Pew. Need a good emoji for this. Don't have a good emoji for this. Do 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 do. My bladder thanks you. Oh, I'm so bad at looking at chat. There's a 5-minute delay for the chat viewers, so even if I was on top of looking at chat, well, welcome. Thanks for watching the stream. Got Coach Rusty in the chat.
Coach Rusty, love it.
And Runaton, who's always like throwing out these great lines for Rufio. I'm gonna try and start to emulate some of these.
Yeah, let's hear one. What kind of stuff are we seeing here?
What damage from Rufio? Let's go, Lost Boys. Something like that. That's what I'm imagining the voice sounds like.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You cast the game, you want to call it down the middle, and I think we do our best to do that. There's something about there's this, I don't want to say root for the underdogs. I think both these teams are completely evenly matched, but the Lost Boys have just kind of been pushed back into their base for so long. It's hard not to kind of, I don't know, hate to say pull for him to come out in this fight, but it's I don't know. It's an exciting one.
For sure. They're on the high ground, but like I think a lot of the times it comes down to the lineup that you've got, and sometimes you're just sporting a lineup that has that sort of natural high ground defense, but maybe not so much of the scrims that happen out in the map. So it's something that they can pull back at this point, even though they are 24k down. Just one wrong team fight that goes poorly onto the high ground, it could swing the other way.
Yeah. And here we go.
Once again, digital sports.
Probably
Definitely
just
going
going
to
to
wait.
opt for these tier 5 items. And
I was just going to say that 100%. They're going to get the tier 5s and then they're going to think about doing something.
they'll be definitely wanting to guard whoever just made that circle around that top jungle. That'll be the only real camp for...
Oh,
the
tier
Lost
5
Boys.
on the Zeus.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like
What's he
Lost
gonna get?
Boys are kind of venturing out a little bit here. They do want those tier 5s. Spotting out the top edge of the
hope one of them
jungle
drops.
here.
Doesn't the Stygian Desolator coming out on the Wraith King?
Ooh,
Magic
Well,
Lamp.
I
on
said-
Zeus.
I said the Stygian on the Wraith King could be pretty scary here.
Absolutely.
Oh, Magic Lamp, nice pickup for the Zoo. Surprised this sort of really strong Aeon disc for the hero.
Yeah, it's like an Aeon disc, isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
And you get health back, I'm pretty sure, as well.
And Refresher refreshes it.
But this is
Does-
where, yeah, the advantage...
The
with
thing
the
is, though,
King-
does this Zeus realise that the Refresh Shard and the Orb have the same cooldown?
Yeah, maybe not. I think
If he
A2K's...
uses one.
Another Stygian Desolator coming out on the Night
Well, I
Stalker.
said
This is a
if it-
perfect
Oh,
storm.
yeah.
Oh, engagement.
And I
CM is
Oh,
in,
here we go.
swapped.
How'd the CM get in there?
A bit close, too close to the high ground. Ends up getting
Swapped
swapped in.
in.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Tower is under siege.
Radiant down one hero. They do have the Aegis, but kind of scarier to commit now than it was 30 seconds ago.
I'm starting to think the Lost Boys are exactly where they want to be right now.
In
Yeah,
a
they're not-
position
they
of
don't really
power from
care
the high
about-
ground.
And the Giant's Ring comes out on the Spirit Breaker, so...
We got a raid boss Spirit Breaker.
I had a Giant's Ring on Nyx Assassin in my last game. It was hilarious. This giant bug. This giant
committing
space
the ult
cow.
to get the vision.
Tower is being attacked.
I'm just going to
Up
start
on the
trying
top.
to chip away.
A2K in trouble.
Oh,
Goes
Zeus is
And
down.
with the Magic Lamp gets brought down. Wow.
Oh, another swap.
coming out on the Spirit
Swap.
Breaker. He's going to be brought down as well. The split push coming out from the Wraith King. He's got no TP.
He's got to run. Managed to get the tower down. This is kind of what I was thinking. Maybe a split push is in the cards, but
Great use of the Ogre Seal Totem again from Octavine. Just
Oh no.
right on
Wraith
top
King's
of the
going to go
Wraith.
down.
I mean, 3 heroes down on the Radiant side. He did manage to get the tower down. Bit of damage onto the rack.
I feel it's just not worth it. You lose 3 heroes here for
Yeah, network
no
swinging.
pickups and just a tower.
Dire's top
Even
Diana are going to push this, I think.
It didn't feel like a concentrated attack. It just sort of... The timings didn't really work out on that push.
top tower is being attacked.
I think the thinking was good to kind of have the split push going, but you see how the swap on the Venge was just kind of picking apart that hero or the
This
lineup.
Venge has been massive this game.
Yep.
Massive.
And it, you know,
Radiant's tower
very low cooldown on swap. You're able to kind of make that play and get that pick off.
And no
every 12
buyback on the Zeus.
And this tower
Black
is
Dragon is going to
melting.
come out.
all middle tower for Radiant.
Black Dragon form.
Oh, they're gonna go
They're just
straight
going
for
straight
it.
for tier 4.
Back on Wraith King. Zeus is now back up. Radiant have
Oh,
to
Red
be
King's
careful
in on
here.
the sidelines on the Viper.
I don't
Gonna
think
get
the
forced
Lost
up nice
Boys
because
care.
into the BKB on the silence. Gonna try and push in. They're gonna try and bring the Dazzle. Dazzle's gonna go down. The Wraith King's still up. The Wraith King's going down. No, he's got no revive. This is very bad for the Radiant.
Oh, but they pulled down
Really
Nick's
gonna pick up the
assassin.
Nyx. Spirit Breaker's gonna go in on the charge. They're gonna try and bring the fight now to the Dire.
Rex Cow is going to go down here.
Oh, the Night Stalker's taking a lot of damage. He's gonna go down. CMO is down, but it's not really that effective.
I think at
Zeus
this
is
point you
bringing
just
the
have to
pain.
turn and fight, trying to get away from these heroes. They're going to TP out. The Viper and the DK
Rufio's still in.
managing to get
Are
out.
they gonna see him? No.
Oof.
Little buybacks on the Lost Boys. Tower for
See
tower
how-
now.
Well, we'll see how aggressive Big Chig tries to get here with 3 heroes.
If they push that high ground, I fear they're gonna actually get killed here.
I think Octavine has enough.
Yeah, the buybacks on the Dazzle and the Venge, they're gonna try and run away from this
Definitely
now.
going to just disengage here. They're not going to want to go up there without their cores.
Well, that was an exchange of high grounds.
Yeah. Exchange of buybacks and exchange of high ground.
High grounds or buybacks looking a little better on the Radiant side at the moment. A bit more committed on the Dire side.
All of that, and we've only lost from the Dire side a tower, and on the Radiant a tower. It's going 2 hours, guys. Let's go.
Here's 6 items, guys. We're about 15 minutes away.
Oh, Pirate Hat
Pirate
on the
Hat.
Venge.
It's very good. Very nice
That's
item.
interesting.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah, a
what
little
we got
bit more
for
map
today.
for the Lost Boys here. They're able to kind of get back out into the jungle and finish up these tier 5 items. Still a few heroes waiting to get one. Dazzle needing one. Gonna pick it up here, maybe?
Yeah, interesting choices. So Wraith
Oh.
King and Night Stalker going for the Stygian Desolator. Buff to the right click.
Does everyone else see this Viper cat, like the model just bugged?
Yeah, it is. He looks...
He looks
He's
hurt.
asleep.
Oh
He's
no.
don't hurt me.
Yeah. He's having a rough go. He's 66
His head
minutes
is
into the
down,
game.
He's looking sick.
He's hungover. He's hungover. That's what it
Hungover,
is.
he's tired. It's 66-minute match, guys. This is what happens to the heroes at this point.
Yeah.
They're all going to look like that pretty soon.
Be funny if like the game, like once it hits 70 or 80 minutes, all the heroes just start to degrade. All their stats go down to like near zero.
Start losing health.
Disintegrate, and then the creeps just get really strong and end up just overwhelming them.
You go back to level 1, basically.
Yeah.
They get to prestige, like Call of Duty.
That's right.
They keep all their skills, but they just go back to level 1.
Alright, so what are they going to try?
CS down on the Nyx.
Don't know. Well, Roche is up. He's sitting on top of that cheese and banner. They're probably just saving it for later, right? They want to do a double banner. Situation.
There'll be another cheese and another. Imagine 2 banners.
No, I've never seen this before. I don't know what's happening.
Do you think it'll be cool if 2 banners like work on top of each other so that the one
That's
banner makes
insane.
the other banner immune or invincible?
That would be ridiculous.
The permanent area where no creeps will die.
I hope it doesn't, like, if you place one, it doesn't get rid of the other one.
I'd love to find out. I hope that... I'm sure they're gonna go do Roche, you know? I can't see it going any other way. DD in the top rune.
Looks like Lost Boys are going to push out their base here a bit.
Yeah.
They're maybe starting to get comfortable. This is maybe what Radiant want. Lost Boys to get just a little bit more comfortable, just kind of eke themselves a little bit out of their high ground.
Lyra going to be scoping out this this Roche to... Couple more from the Big Chig All-Star is going to come down here and help finish this this Roche up. And the Zeus ult for good measure, just to make sure nobody's coming out of that base to stop them from doing this. Okay, Roshan's banner finally picked up by the Night Stalker.
And the cheese.
Oh, are they going for a cheese block?
Why not?
Oh, that would be interesting to see, you know. I ain't seen one of them in ages.
I think I've only ever... Look at the amount of
I'm just
items.
leaving the stuff on the floor.
They quite
They're like,
literally
guys,
don't-
we can't pick anything up.
We
Ooh,
got a
refresher
shard.
shard too, yeah. I think at that point you do just put it on the Wraith King.
So we got a banner on the
Get rid of the
CM.
armlet and grab that shard. Interesting.
Zeus is going to grab it again.
Tons
Zeus quite literally has 8 items. What is this game?
Deciding on what to use.
I don't know what's
Like,
happening. I mean,
Even 5 now on the Zeus as well.
I think we've gone delusional at 70 minutes here. It's
Let's see another item on the Spirit Breaker. The dude got 5, almost 6k surplus. A tricky one though. I mean, Sheepstick, never a bad buy if you're...
You know when it's a long game when you get the shard and there's no shard dropped. You know that everyone doesn't need the farm. They're just getting it for the extra tiny bit of gold.
A2K, still checking them out. Are they still on the high ground? Yes, they are.
Dagon now on the Zeus.
Yeah, tagging 5. We are kind of grouped up here.
we're still looking to put that banner down. Hard to say. Creeps are coming in.
Earstone on the Nyx. I want to see an Agnums on this Nyx. High ground defense from an Eggs.
There we go. Night Stalker's going to go into BKB popped off. He's going to try and get this Dazzle straight away. Zeus is going to try and do some damage. The Dazzle's going to go down. Die back on the Dazzle. All the Nyx is going to get picked up as well. DK's trying to throw out some damage.
The
Spirit
swap
Breaker's
into
gonna
the
go down.
fountain's gonna take the Spirit Breaker down.
The Viper and the DK are looking healthy though. It's looking scary for the Radiant. Even though the Dazzle is down.
Night Stalker's going to go down once. So's the Wraith King. Night Stalker blinked out. They're going back in now.
I'm not sure they want to go back in there.
Oh, there's A2K's in trouble.
A2K
it's
gonna
gonna
go
get
down
soft.
here.
The Ag's on the Wraith King.
Octavine getting dangerously low. Lyra on him. Oh, the Yules.
Rufio is not lost any health.
No. Rufio is just absolutely massive right now.
Oh
With that
no!
Swift Link,
The
he's
mirror
gonna be able to
shield.
catch up.
Double Force has the Invis, but dust on them.
Think he's gonna go down here.
The Rax did go down. Nice start off. They did get the Dazzle nice and early, but there's not enough damage able to go out onto the DK and the Viper that these two heroes can kind of just chunk down the enemy health bars really quickly.
I think you do the math here. If it's going to cost basically your whole team for a Rax, that's not going to be enough to win this game.
You only get one buyback. That's
They
gonna be
do
an
have all their buybacks.
yeah.
Yeah, well, not if we have a 90-minute game.
It's going 2 hours. I'm telling you, it's going 2 hours.
Over game.
They are eyeing it, so they are going to approach the high ground. Dazzle, they didn't get the... Dazzle's not going to be able to...
BKB's going to go on the Wraith King. He is going to get E-bladed.
He's just fighting.
He needs to last
gonna go
5
down.
more seconds. He just needed a few more seconds.
He can't. He can't now. He's in spirit form. It stops the cooldown.
Really rough.
He does have
Just missed
buyback.
the target.
Buyback. Buyback's going to come out. All the buybacks. Zeus is up though. He doesn't need to use his. Octavine's going to go down. Avenger's going to go down. He's used himself up a bit though. Wind Waker coming out on the Dazzle. They're going to pick up this Venge. Dazzle's getting shallow graved.
And I wonder if he did that intentionally just to bait them in. Ooh,
What is this game?
Kind of a bit rough. The Elder form is down for 45 seconds. We do have buybacks on the Viper.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
there they are.
Buyback on Venge. This is going to be a tough high ground defense, but
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
looks like they're not going to attempt it.
Wow.
Generation.
Come on, guys, I will go make a coffee.
Intense fights on both sides. This is just on the edge of a knife right now. Come this late in the game, tier 5 items are out on all heroes. This game could just instantly shift just by one
It's so
spell.
crazy. It's so crazy how both sides just have sort of almost the same sort of flow of heroes on both teams where it could go any way. There's no way I could sit here and go, oh, Dire are going to win this fight. There's no way.
No. And what's
There's
great
no-
is that
there's-
they're both playing a clean game. I mean, very few big glaring mistakes coming out. They're, everyone's really just playing an incredibly patient game.
I mean, they can't hear me, but I think a lot of weight is sitting on the shoulders of Avenge and Dazzle on the side of the Lost Boys.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Even though there is, like, a whole lot of meat on the DK and the Viper, the saves, just to be able to ensure that they're in the right position, not getting overwhelmed, is so crucial. And the opposite side for the Radiant side, where they kind of need to figure out how to approach this high ground in a way that the fights start off in their favor. Or they can put a whole bunch of damage out onto Viper and DK, but if they don't handle the Dazzle, if they don't handle the Viper or the Vengeful Spirit in the back, those heroes have ways of getting out.
Like, as soon as you get to this point, you're at risk of being swapped, and you just instantly get singled out. And that is what they're going to be looking for here, I'm sure.
CHIG All-Stars cautiously approaching this high ground. They know how delicate this is.
They also know that Viper's not there at this very moment.
Alright, Ravenkin's going to go in, he's going to get immediately hexed, the Zeus Ult's going to come out, and the Nimbus. He's going to get swapped into the back line. What are they going to do? Are they going to go in and help this Red King?
I don't think they can. I think they know
Oh,
he's going
Last Uncle's
down.
going in with a BKB, trying to go and tank some of this damage down the DK, but it's not going to be to any avail. The Zeus is going to get hexed.
Just Nimbus City here.
They can
Last
send-
Stalker's going to go down. 2 diebacks on the Radiant. This could be very much charged down mid for the Dire.
Both cores down for almost 2
Just-
minutes.
Yeah. This is really bad for the Radiant.
We're seeing how just like the damage type that they have on the Radiant side is just not carrying them into the later game. A lot of it
Indeed,
is on
yeah.
the Zeus, and this is just kind of the nature of Dota, where once you start getting to late game, it's all about the right click. It's all about how quickly you can pump out damage. And right click is just the most consistent means of pumping out high amount of damage with items.
They're just going to go tier 5s. Oh, the blink onto the CM, the Hex coming out on the Viper. Venge is getting gone on now. Zeus is going down.
Right on to that. They want this game to be
Straight on
over.
there,
They just want to
get-
end it.
And that's GG.
That's it.
Wow, what a different... Wow, that was insane. Looking like the
78-minute
Dire.
grind. Well played by both teams.
Amazing patience on the Lost Boys to just stick to their high ground, stick to what strengths their lineup has, and I mean, it worked out for them. The high ground was just like they made a few attempts on it, but you see just how like just one wrong move, one wrong position, and it just goes in the favor of the team sitting on that high ground with that late game damage.
Yeah.
That was an insane game.
And I think the graph shows that. It's just unreal.
Near center till like 55 minutes, and then just crazy swings.
Yeah, rare do you get to see a game go into the ultra late game and still have, almost 20 minutes plus of team fights. I'm surprised every hero wasn't at level 30, but that's not
I'm
where
gonna
it.
go for a quick coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, intense game overall. Like, yeah, I was a little worried for the late game. I mean, DK, we see why this hero is so strong in this meta right now. The splash damage, right click, being spread out over an area is going to carry well into the late game. And DK just sports such high health bar and such high damage resistance that I don't know. There's not many heroes that can kind of face up that well. Like there are other heroes that can pump out much more damage into the late game, but DK just has a consistent kind of kit. The stun and then just the itemization. We see S and Y being such a strong item in this meta right now as well. The itemization on Rufio I think was quite spot on. You have the damage, you have the satanic. If you get yourself in a bad spot, you can still heal back. And then the swift blink, allowing you to position yourself into the fight where you want, and then having all that extra late game right click damage with it. I think paid off for him.
Yeah, it paid off huge, and he played that really, really well as like cornerstone to that draft and their lineup. You combine everything that you listed with the natural tank ability of a dragon, and it's just unbelievable what he was able to do. Pair that up with a Viper who's also just going to deal that right click backline damage, just scaled better than the magic damage that we saw that paid off so well for HUK through the early game into the mid game. Yeah, it was a bit of a shift of power. One of the strongest high ground defenses I've seen, and probably the longest and most sustained, commitment to that. This is how we're gonna fight, and we're not coming out. So really put the Big Chig All Stars in a spot where they had really no choice but to figure out how to climb that hill.
For sure. I think maybe, I don't know, a split push is always a tricky endeavor because a split push can backfire on you. If the enemy team sees that you're split up and then decide to commit onto one side and end up winning that side of the fight, your split push kind of just falls flat. They don't necessarily have the great lineup to execute a split push. Wraith
Yeah,
King had like the skeletons facet, maybe something could have been mustered out of that, but overall just kind of tricky to get up that high ground. If you had to twist my arm and give an MVP, I would give it to Rexcal, honestly, the Vengeful Spirit, because I think in a few of the fights there that the swaps were so crucial. And then overall, the pipe of insight, you see like A2K did amazing this game, got massive items, farmed quickly, huge damage output, but you see how this hero just kind of suffers to the face of a pipe. You can see how like as soon as the pipe started coming up, the fights were going much better for the Lost Boys.
absolutely. And I mean, A2K again, hats off, dealing over 108,000 hero damage um, in that match. Octavine not too far behind. It was a real battle of the mids, and I think they both did a great job. I think Sergeant Sarcasm did some really good work scouting things out, but yeah, I agree with you, Lynx, on Rex Cal. Inspired play. A lot of those swaps in those later fights were the tide turners. They were, the ability to kind of single them out and have that whole team backline just melt heroes down paid off big for them.
Yeah. All right. Since there is a 5 minute delay, I've got to end the stream and then wait 5 minutes so it doesn't cut off.
For sure.
But we're going to be back with game two.